Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, this is your U.S. General. 5-drawer tool card with side tray and deep compartment. Today is Sunday, as you can see. We now back over at the storage unit, getting back to it, getting busy as always. All right. In today's video segment, what I would like to do is give a little long-term review on some Mac Expert socket line, just as well as I will also like to take a look at the Tekton half-inch drive shallow impact socket set. Okay, there has been something that I came across in the last few days that I would like to enlist in this particular video, so we will be taking a look at that just as well, and just as well as quite a few other things. In this particular video right here, I will be addressing some subscribers and some comments that has been made in the past when it comes to the modifications that was done to this U.S. General 5-drawer tool cart, just as well as some items that was used, that I obtained. And, there's been a lot of comments asking to where they can obtain some of the things, that was provided in these demonstrations. All right, so I'm going to be able to give you a little insight, probably give you a little informative information in which direction to lean towards. All right, but I ain't gonna hold you up too much more longer in the introductory of things. But as I always state, as usual, I always keep my signature lingering somewhere in the background, my Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You already know. Okay, so pretty much about to get into this expert line first. All right, when it comes to these particular sockets here, the expert line, I've had these sockets roughly since about 2011, 2012. All right, so now it's the year 2021. I actually had these sockets, basically for over a decade. They have been kept in good condition, no rust or anything like that. All right, they have been used heavily. All right, before I even had these service carts and anything like that. I didn't always keep them in the cart. I still kept them in their blow molded cases. I actually have the half-inch drive semi deeps in a general service set, just as well as the 3/8 drive in the 1/4 inch drive, just as well. All right. Unfortunately, at this particular time, I don't have the 3/8 drive set in this particular card. I have the 3/8 drive back with my other equipment and my other storage, but I do have the semi-deep half-inch drive and 1/4 inch drive in this particular card. All right. So first, we're going to take a look at that. Then we're going to move into the Tektons. Then we're going to dive into, where some of the viewers and some of the subscribers who's been asking, I'm going to be able to give you a little insight and put out some information for you to follow up on. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here to the top of the tool cart. Right. And basically what you're looking at in this whole particular row all the way to the back, these are all Mac Expert half-inch drive semi-deep chrome sockets. Okay. I believe that this runs from 8mm all the way to 32mm here, as you can see. All right, these are Expert. I've had these for a very, very long time. The only thing that I just happened to notice the other day is how some of the finish is starting to discolor. All right, and it's starting to wear a little bit. But otherwise than that, I've never had absolutely no issues with these, never rounded off anything with these. Another thing, towards the inside, the finish doesn't go all the way to the center portion of the socket, all right, like how you would have your impacts. And if the camera will focus or the lighting will focus towards the inside, the finishing on the inside is starting to wear a little bit. Because I'm underneath the lighting, it's hard to really see it through the camera, but up close in person it's very noticeable. All right, if it will focus in properly. But this is the only thing that I mainly more notice throughout time. Like I did state in my last few videos, that I do clean my sockets. I clean a lot of my equipment directly right after use with certain solutions, just as well as I use an air chuck, okay, to blow out, debris and dirt and grime and grit and things like that. So I have always, kept these well maintained. And like I stated, these weren't always inside the tool cart. I used to keep these sets in their blow molded cases in particular drawers. All right. Moving along over here, everything in this row is all Mac Expert. All right, this is the quarter inch drive set here. It's 10 millimeter, and as you can see, it's Mac Expert. So the quarter inch is getting a little rust, and you see like but it's really not that bad. Has a little built up. I have to come in with a wire brush and clean things back up, but these have held up very well. Had absolutely no issues with them. All right, just as well as the general service sets, they also come with their T handles, and they come with universal joints, just as well as reduces. And as we'll focus in for you, and there's your part number E117259. All right, so we're gonna move along to the Tekton sockets real quick. All right, just real quick before we dive into the Tektons, also just wanted to mention also what's also provided with the Mac Expert socket line in their chromes. They also come with their chrome tap socket, and on the inside they have like a wire retainer. If you can see towards the inside, if the camera lens is focusing well enough, where that you can see that wire retainer towards the inside. All right, these are also Mac Experts. All right, so now moving along to the Tektons. All right, everything that you see running all the way towards the back are Tekton half-inch drive metric impact socket sets, just as well as this is the shallow half-inch drive metric. Now, the thing that I just happened to notice, all right, when it came to this particular set, um, the 4 sets that I actually have through Tekton, I've had these sets roughly maybe about a year and a half. I didn't always initially have these particular sockets in this card. I used to work with a different line of sockets, such as Mac, when it came to impact sockets, Gray Pneumatic, and some older make USA Craftsman's, all right? But throughout time, I figured, I wanted to try something new, and I happened to come across the Tekton line, and I started to use some of them, and I really liked them. So I wound up, swapping some of the sockets that I initially had out to start using these professionally day in and day out in the shop. But as I just happened to notice the other day about this particular set, which I believe this line of Tekton sockets is like some of their first releases. I think possibly that they have a new line of them. And the sets that I initially purchased, I don't think that they distribute them anymore. But if someone out there, has the older first issues of these sockets, I'll give you the part number a little later on. But if you happen to take notice towards the top end of the sockets, all right, this is a Milwaukee step bit. It's only this one socket that looks like an eyeball socket throughout the rest of the sockets that you see here. Okay, now this is a 14 millimeter. All right, and I just happen to notice how it's machined differently from all the rest of the sockets. Okay, now this is not a replacement socket. This is the original socket that came with the original set here. So I just happened to notice, how this is basically machined differently from all the rest of the sockets that was provided. Just to give you a part number real quick from this particular set would be here 4817. All right, so any individuals out there, who have this older set right here, which ranges from 11 millimeter to 32 millimeter, drop a comment and let me know, if you have this same particular socket, designed the way that it is in your set, or whether, there was a mistake when machining, this particular 14 millimeter socket compared to the rest of the sockets. So this was something that I just happened to notice. It doesn't really make, any much more of an issue because, from the 14 to 15 millimeter, my gray pneumatics look more like this particular socket more than they look like any of the other sockets. Okay, this is another reason why my gray pneumatics are used, more than often, especially when it comes to like 15 millimeter and 17 millimeter, especially 17 millimeter when working on BMWs or Audis or, Volkswagens and things like that. Right. All right. Another thing that I happened to notice was I was also taking a look at my Snap-on low clearance ratchet adapters just as well. All right. This is a rare set right here to have. A lot of individuals never really seen these before, just as well as certain Snap-on dealers. Okay, but I do have them, so they do exist. All right. I just happen to really take notice to the 1/2 inch drive to the 3 1/4, how it was machined a little bit differently and a little bit more duller in finish, testically compared to the 3/8 to 1/2 inch drive and the 1/4 inch to 3/8 drive. Okay, so if you never seen these before, these are Snap-on. Okay, and these are made in the USA, and there's your part number. All right, as you can take notice, this is 1/2 inch drive to 3 1/4 here, just as well as this is 1/2 inch drive. This is 3/8, pardon me, to 1/2 inch drive, made in the USA. And there's your part number. Camera lens will focus in properly. These are Snap-on. And this is your 1/4 inch drive to 3/8. It's your part number, made in the USA. So I did just happen, to just take notice to, the finishing between this particular adapter and the other two. But, it doesn't really make a difference. This is a very rare set to have. A lot of individuals never seen these before. I had to point this out to my Snap-on dealer. He was kind of shocked when I first showed him these right here. All right. Over here, what I'm holding is your Snap-on adjustable tap sockets. The part number is ATSSET. This set is 3/8 drive and 1/2 inch drive. These are made in China. These are not made in the USA. All right. So as you would see in the illustration at the top, how, it's provided with a 3/8 drive or a 1/2 inch drive socket, just as well as your tap socket. So this is what your tap socket would look like here. Okay. All right, so moving along into some of the questions, all right, by a lot of different subscribers and viewers and things like that who has asked me in the past, as far as such as things like the hammer holders that I did and the modifications to this US General 5-drawer tool cart. Initially, I had 4 of them connected to the cart, 2 to the back and 2 to the front. But because I remodified things in the back, I had to disassemble, and dismount the tool from the back. I still have those particular tool because I still have a particular use for them. But there is a subscriber of mine who obtained, I leaned them in the direction of a particular seller because these hammer holders was discontinued. But fortunately, one of my subscribers was able to get his hands on quite a few of them, and he does have them listed on eBay. All right, so I'll get out my tablet and power it up so that you can see it, so that you can locate them. If you're looking for these hammer holders for the U.S. General, I'm not affiliated with Harbor Freight. All right, this gentleman did post a link of my video with the description on eBay with these hammer holders. All right, so just to give you an idea of where you can obtain those at, just as well as some individuals in the past have asked me about the rubber grips that I keep on a lot of my different impact guns, just as well as some of, as you can see here, like the battery mounts and things like that for your M12 batteries, just as well as your M18 batteries. You can obtain these on eBay. All right, there's a lot of different individuals who sell them. I think that they use what is that, graphic printing to create these. They design them in all sorts of ways. Like, you don't necessarily have to have 3, you can have 10 lined up in a row and things like that, so they can customly make them for you. All right, just as well as I have also demonstrated your M18 and M12 charger mounts just as well, where you can mount them to a wall or you can mount them to your carts and things like that, and they lock in through these two fasteners from up underneath the charger. You can also obtain things like these on eBay. All right, when it comes to the battery holders that I have that are provided by Milwaukee, I believe that they also have them for Ingersoll Rand and DeWalt's just as well. Okay, you can locate some of those items right there on eBay. All right, so initially, this is how your hammer holder would look. I modified it and changed the colors. When I first purchased them, I purchased them in black. All right, so I did have to spray them down with a particular color code red that I used amongst, this whole U.S. General 5-drawer tool cart, as you can see here. All right, so that is, a good visual of them. So now I'm going to pull up the screen and show you how you can locate them if you're looking for them. All right, if you notice, now that I have my screen up, right, and I'm in Google, all right, you can Google Harbor Freight U.S. General hammer holders, and you will see this particular listing right here, okay? So now, this is coming from an individual who viewed my channel, okay, who is a viewer and subscriber to my channel. And he has a few of them that kind of limited. All right, but if you go into the description, all right, it states Harbor Freight U.S. General 5-drawer tool cart hammer holder, hammer holster mod. Okay, the condition is new. He's selling them in a single bracket with no mounting hardware. If you go to the bottom of the listing, okay, it says, if you like Harbor Freight tool cart mods, check out Darian Robinson's YouTube channel. There's no affiliation. As you can see, the idea for this Harbor Freight tool cart mod came from his channel. All right, check out this and other mod ideas on his channel, and he posted my link, all right, to my channel underneath this description, and you can see that this is eBay. All right, so for me to go back so that you can get a good visual, and there's people watching on this particular item, so this is what he's selling them for. The prior moment, he has make an offer. All right, if you want to find the buyer, that's the buyer right there. Okay, he's located in what is this, Gastonia, North Carolina. All right, So once again, if you're looking for these, you just gotta Google Harbor Freight US General 2-cart hammer holder, and you will see this listing, and you will know this is the listing once you go into the full description and you see my name and my video link at the bottom of the description, like I just demonstrated and I just showed. Okay, so once again, you'll know this individual is a subscriber and viewer to my channel. All right, so that's how you can basically locate these if you're looking for them at the prior moment. All right, just as well as individuals have asked me in the comments, where I get the pistol grips for a lot of my cordless impacts and things like this. I picked up these rubber grips off wish.com. All right, you can purchase these roughly, I think what I paid for these, like $2 or $3 a piece. They come in different colors just as well, and they come in different styles, but I only basically used one particular style of them. All right, they are very durable. It's like a real hard rubber. I don't have any issues with my batteries or anything like that coming out of any of my tools, but this, for those individuals who do have issues or run into issues where the batteries come a little loose in their handles, this will enable for the battery to stick tight. Okay, like I was showing in one of the last previous videos, how this sits flush flat when you put the battery in. It like really locks the battery in tight. All right, so that's basically what that is, and that's where you can locate those if you're looking for them. All right, when it comes to that hammer holder over there, I will leave a link in the description of this video just in case you're looking for them. And just as well as I showed you, you can also Google. I'm not quite sure how many of them that he actually has. So, if you're looking for them, first come, first serve. You already know what it is. All right. So I'm going to end this video right about here. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep it a safe and a blessed one as always. Until that next tool review, the next modification video, we going to check you later. Peace.